Boom, Ever Onward Tribe. I was talking with a buddy yesterday, and somehow the concept or idea of hope came up and how powerful hope is. And I said, have you ever heard of the study they did on rats at Harvard in the 50s? He's like, no. I was like, man, I read this and it absolutely blew my mind, and I'm excited to share it with you. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Richter, and in the 50s, he ran what was admittedly a very brutal study on rats, but it speaks to hope in a way that absolutely leaves unequivocally in the mind how important it is to you, to us, and to a moment you could face in believing in what's possible. The study was brutal in that he would put he'd take a rat from a group of rats, the control group, and put them in a pool or basically, a bucket of water. And he watched to see how long they would survive just treading water in that space. On average, the rats lasted anywhere from 8 to about a maximum of 15 minutes before, and they swim to the bottom, swim to the top, and then eventually they would give up, they would drown. Brutal, I know, but stick with me. The second group that he used just to test a theory was he would put them in the water. They'd observe them very, very closely. And around that 8 to 15 minute mark, he'd watch when they'd go down. And when it looked like for sure they were about to give up, one of the, researchers would take the rat out, save it more or less, let it dry off, keep it, safe, and let it know it was going to be okay. And then again, harshly put it back in the water. Now, 8 to 15 minutes is how long the average rat across a very significant peer group lasted without knowing it was going to be saved or taken out of the water. I'll let you, just as you're listening, take a guess on how long you think the rats lasted when put back in the water after being rescued. Wasn't 10 minutes, wasn't 15, wasn't 20. The average was 60 hours. 60 hours before the rats would give up. Just that injection of hope in belief that they could last longer and survive extended that number to a place that's hard to wrap your head around. So trust me, when you're in a tough spot, when things are rough, or you think you're trying to achieve something great and you're up against the wall, as always, don't give up. Keep grinding, realize you can do far more than you think you can, and maintain hope. It will take you far. Ever onward.